Since the production adjustments made for Below Deck Down Under Season 3 have improved the show and its reception, I believe the Below Deck brand is shifting its editing strategies. The third season of Below Deck Down Under debuted in February 2025 and is already more than halfway over. This season has seen numerous cast changes, including the firing of 3 crew members and the hiring of replacements by Captain Jason Chambers. Because of the boatmanship, the drama in the interior and exterior departments, and the personalities of the visitors, I think Season 3 is really enjoyable. The setting that is emphasized in Season 3 is another significant shift. As the name implies, Below Deck Down Under has spent the first 2 seasons in Australia. But this season took a completely different turn, and Captain Jason and his crew have been chartering super yachts in the East African nation of the Seychelles. Captain Jason's leadership style, the unruly crew dynamics, and the erratic individuals who have appeared on the show have all contributed to its definition. The editing style tweaks that have improved the show have been what, in my opinion, really made this season stand out. Since its 2014 debut, I have been a fan of the Below Deck franchise. The show's quality at the time, as well as some blunders in figuring out how to record the entire crew in between the cabins and the boat, were some of the obvious editing growing pains I noticed. However, Below Deck's editing has advanced significantly since the first several seasons. As a dominant Bravo program that is recognized as a leading reality show both domestically and internationally, production has developed its own editing style. The production wants to show the crew members interacting with the guests in the water, in the cabins, and on nights out, in addition to their work environs. Additionally, the interview segments follow a fairly traditional format, with the actors speaking in front of green-screened yacht-style surroundings. All deck levels, as well as the service and guest areas, are photographed as the crew members sprint around the vessel. The restrooms and guest accommodations are the only places where the cameras are not visible. I now know what to anticipate from each season in terms of the kinds of moments that are filmed, the structure of the drama, and the impact of the crew interviews on the story as a whole. Those fundamental components, in my opinion, have been improved even if they haven't changed. The production and editing innovations in BBDU Season 3 have positively impressed me, and I believe the show should continue using the new techniques for a more engaging viewing experience. Season 3 of Below Deck Down Under has given his usual editing techniques a little flair. Each crew member now gets a new CV bio that highlights their experience, professional and personal backgrounds, and interesting information, starting with the cast introduction. Additionally, they decided to do this in honor of a unique turtle that the crew and guests saw during an onshore tour, which I thought was quite cute. Second, because the motor yacht Katina is the biggest vessel on the exhibition so far, the stewardess step counter has been implemented. Also, I think that the usage of GoPros has been more involved, and there have been better visual views of the visitors in the water thanks to the use of drones and better viewpoints. The love letter that Bosun Wihan Du Tuat wrote to his deckhand Adair Worley came next. As he recited his love poetry, it had a cinematic effect that was different from any romantic shot I had ever seen. As he read his poetry, Wihan was superimposed, which enhanced both the humorous aspect and the overall eccentricity of Wihan's creative and inventive editing. The Seychelles' breathtaking natural splendor has also been expertly captured. I have a positive image of the place thanks to the breathtaking underwater photos, sweeping views of Katina, and the island backdrop. Additionally, the images of the anchor making contact with the seafloor have improved our understanding of what the crew means when they remark, "The anchor has a good bite." Other viewers of Below Deck Down Under commented on the alterations in editing. The edit that turned the Wihan love letter into a documentary about Ken Burns' Civil War was hilarious. Another concern raised was how the episode's plot was developed after the production introduced deckhand Johnny Arvanitis' cabinet pounding at the start of the show. The previous episode was excellent as well. The program began in the midst of a contentious argument without any background information. Throughout the entire program, there was a constant build-up. I genuinely hope these more perceptive, humorous, and kind editing techniques are here to stay, because I believe the enhanced production value makes the show even more well-rounded, I, as a longtime and ardent fan, have connected with this season more than the others. It would be beneficial for the Below Deck franchise to hear from Below Deck Down Under viewers regarding the benefits of the new modifications and how they raise the caliber and level of involvement of the show.